Hi everyone, it's Chris and Jaeger here again, back for another video. And today we're going to answer some more of your questions. So I'd just like to start by thanking everyone that's watched the video so far. And a big thanks to High Crags Primary School in Bradford, who earlier this week watched some of the videos during their assembly. And that's where today's questions come from. So Class 3NW at High Crags Primary School put 4 great questions together, and I'm going to attempt to answer those for you today. Now, I won't be able to read the questions, obviously, because of my eyesight, so my daughter Grace is going to read them out for us now. So let's start with question number 1, Grace.
How long does it take to train a guide dog?
Okay, so great question. So it can take about 18 months to 2 years for the guide dogs to be fully trained, and that can vary depending on the dog. It all starts when the puppies are about 8 weeks old, and they live with their puppy walkers, and they'll stay with the puppy walkers for about the first year of their lives. And during that early training, what they will learn is all the basics around how to eat, how to go to the toilet, about the behaviour, so not going on furniture, not barking too much, kind of all the little basic things that help them just have that basic understanding of how to behave, so when they get a little bit older, they're not causing trouble, if you will, if they go into any shops or anything like that. At round about the 1 year mark, the guide dogs would then go into one of the local offices, when there's lots of those up and down the country, and that's when they're going to start more of their advanced training. It's when they're going to start to have a harness put on them for the first time, and they're going to start to learn some of the basic commands like forward, find left, find right, and that kind of thing. Towards the end of the training then is of course when they get matched up with a guide dog owner, and of course it depends how long it takes for both guide dog and guide dog owner to work together and learn again all the skills that is needed to to obviously work together to be able to stay safe. So yeah, really good question there. Shall we move on to question number 2, Grace?
Can you sense if the dog is not feeling happy?
So yes, absolutely. So obviously, like any dog, Jaeger can get poorly. So if I spot that he's not feeling very well, he might have a bit of an upset tummy, he might just be whining a little bit for whatever reason, might be off his food. There's all sorts of different things, obviously, just like us as humans, that dogs can catch, and it can make them feel unwell. Of course, if that was the case, I wouldn't make Jaeger work on that occasion. He'd get the day off, and of course we'd pop him along to the vet, find out exactly what's wrong with him, and try and get him better as soon as possible. Now, it's not always just illnesses though that I can spot. On very rare occasions I have seen Jaeger be a little bit unhappy about the weather. So particularly if it's raining quite hard, he might not be too happy about going out and have to work. And I've definitely noticed it before, if he can sense like a thunderstorm and things like that in the area. Sometimes he looks back quite a lot for sort of reassurances, as if to say, are you sure you want to go out in this kind of weather? It doesn't look very great, but of course sometimes we do need to do so, and he's still a great worker even in all conditions. So Grace, let's move on to question 3.
Would a guide dog ever go and help someone else if they could sense they needed help?
Okay, so would a guide dog ever help somebody else? Not really, because to be honest, Jaeger spends so much time with me and looking after me. So if we're out on the street, for example, I would have him on the lead and the harness. There wouldn't really be that opportunity for him to be able to go and help somebody else, because of course he'd be very much focusing on looking after myself. That being said, what he does like to do if we're all out as a family, or even if we're at home, he does quite often like to kind of rally round and make sure that everybody in the house is well looked after. So especially my children, he likes to make sure that everybody's nice and safe. And if we are out on a walk, he will make sure that everyone's together. And he doesn't like it, if like my daughter starts to hang back and get a little bit too far behind. He likes to make sure that she's with us, likes to make sure that she's safe as well as myself. So yeah, he's very caring and considerate, and he has that kind of what we call the pack mentality, where dogs all like their little family to be together. So yeah, another great question there. Shall we go on to question number 4, the last question?
What would a guide dog do if their owner took a turn for the worse?
Okay, so this question very much asking what would happen if I became unwell. So of course, if for whatever reason I was out in the street and maybe I became unwell and fell on the floor or something like that. I mean, I've not experienced this myself, but I suspect what would generally happen is that first things first, Jaeger wouldn't leave my side. So it's probably quite likely that he'd curl up next to me, try and kind of look after me and give me some comfort. And now there's a possibility as well he might start barking. He'll certainly probably whine and try and get some attention to try and encourage somebody to come and help. But yeah, it's very much the case where he'd stay close to me, not leave my side, and very much try and make sure that I can get some help. So that's all 4 questions I think answered today. They were all absolutely fantastic. Once again, I want to say a massive thank you to High Crags Primary School in Bradford for submitting those questions. Of course, just a reminder for everybody else that's watching the video, if you are at a school and you've watched the videos in your assembly, you have questions, or even if you're just an individual at home watching the videos and you have something that you'd like to ask, and you'd like me to do a video on it and give you a response, just pop the question in any one of the videos and I will make sure I read it and get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks once again for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.